Hello, today I will start your lecture 11 on your course on kinetics and theory of machines. And today I will discuss about the velocity analysis by the instantaneous center method, or popularly known as the eye center method. Okay, so let us start today's lecture. Sometimes the body simultaneously has a motion of rotation as well as translation. Okay, such as the wheels of the engine of a railway engine, of a steam locomotive. Okay, is rolling spear. Okay, such a motion will have the combined effect of rotation and translation. Now consider the link AB. This link AB, which moves from its position AB to A1 B1, from AB to A1 B1, as shown in the given figure. Now it will show that the link neither has a motion of translation nor fully rotational motion, but a combination of translation and rotation. Now see over here in the first figure, over here the link has first the motion of translation from AB to A1 B dash, A1 B dash here, A1 B dash. So at first it has a motion of translation from this position to this position. Then there is a motion of rotation about this point A1 till it occupies this final position. Now in this second case over here, you see at first this link as a motion of rotation about this point A till A B dash, then the motion of translation from A B dash to A1 B dash, A1 B1. So the second figure, it first a movement of rotation takes place from AB to A1 B dash, A B dash, then a motion of translation from A1 B1. Okay, so it is a combined motion of rotation and translation, or translation and rotation. The whichever motion takes first is immaterial. Okay, but in actual practice, this motion of the link is so gradual that it is difficult to distinguish between the two separate motions. But we see the two separate motions through the point B moves faster than point A. This point B, in the same time, you see it traverses more distance, so it moves faster than the point A. Now this combined motion of rotation and translation of the link AB may be assumed to be a motion of pure rotation about some center I, which is known as the instantaneous center of rotation, also known as the center or the virtual center. Okay, so what is this instantaneous center? It is a center of rotation of a body at a particular instant. Now since these points A and B of the link has moved to A1 and B1 respectively under the motion of rotation, therefore the position of the center of rotation must lie on the intersection of the right bisectors of the chords AA1 and BB1. So AA1 and BB1. Suppose this is the chord, AA1 right bisector of this on this BB1. Suppose this is the this is 90 degree to BB1, and this is the to the AA1. Now suppose they meet at this point. This right bisectors of these two chords will meet at this point, which is denoted by I. Now this I is the instantaneous center of rotation, or the virtual center of the link AB. Okay, so we see that the position of the link AB goes on changing. Therefore, the center about which the motion is assumed to take place also goes on changing. Thus, the instantaneous center of a moving body may be defined as the center which goes on changing from one instant to another. The locus of all such instantaneous center is known as centroid. A line drawn through the instantaneous center and perpendicular to the plane of motion is known as the instantaneous axis. Okay, the locus of this axis is known as the axode. Now we will see the velocity analysis by the instantaneous center method. Okay, for determining the velocity of a point on a link. So this instantaneous center method is convenient and easy to apply in the simple mechanisms. Okay, now let us consider this solid body in space. Okay, now this method, this instantaneous center method of analyzing the motion, is based upon the concept that the displacement of a body having motion in one plane can be considered as pure rotational motion of a rigid link as a whole about some center. Now this center is known as the instantaneous center or the virtual center. Okay, now we are considering this solid body. Now consider this point A. This point A, and this is the another point. Suppose this is B. So these two are the points on this body which is rotating. Suppose this body is rotating. Now this point A as the velocity of, suppose, VA in this direction. So we know the direction of this velocity of this point A on the of this body which is moving in space. Now this point B will have the velocity in the direction of, suppose, VB. Okay. Now these two velocities VA and VB are only at a particular instant of time. Now we draw a perpendicular to this velocity VA. This is perpendicular, and to the velocity, similarly to the velocity VB, and these two perpendiculars which meet at a point. Okay, so these two perpendiculars meet at this point. So this body will try to move, will try to rotate with respect to this point, this meeting point of this perpendicular. at this particular instant in this manner about this point. Now consider another, the body which moves from this instant. It, suppose we consider another instant, so consider this body at some another instant. At another instant, suppose this point A will then have a velocity in this direction, VA, and the point B will move here and it will have velocity in the direction of B. Where this one, this will be the direction. Suppose this is VB. Okay, now again we draw the perpendiculars from this point A and B, and they meet at this particular point. So this body will try to rotate about this point at this particular instant. So similarly, when the body rotates and the direction of the velocity is at a point A and B will change, and so this position of this point will also change at every instant. So these points are known as the these are known as the instantaneous center. Okay, so this body is moving in a space. This body is rotating with respect to these points, this instantaneous center. Okay. Now it is not necessary that the eye center will always lie within the body. Consider this particular instant of this body. Okay, suppose it moves at this point, which moves in this direction. Suppose this is VA and the point B moves along this direction, VB. Now when we draw the perpendiculars, we see that they meet at a point I, which is outside the body. So this eye centers, the position of these eye centers always change at every instant. Now consider this case. Here this point VA will have a velocity VA and this one will have the velocity VB. As you can see, the perpendiculars at this point, when you draw perpendiculars, so they will extend to infinite distance. So the instantaneous center may lie at a very far away distance, or suppose at infinity. Okay, so this is also a case. So the instantaneous centers, the position of the instantaneous centers can vary. Now consider over here three bodies. This is the body R, and these two are the bodies P and Q. This body R is, suppose it is fixed, and this body P and Q, they are able to rotate in these directions with having angular velocities of omega P and suppose omega Q. Now this body P is rotating with respect to this body R, which is fixed. So the instantaneous center of this point P with respect to this R will lie at this point. And this is, suppose we mark it as IPR, and this body Q will have this eye center at here with respect to the R, and this is named as IQR. So we have the instantaneous center of body P with respect to the body Q. So that instantaneous center we name it as IPQ. Now where is this IPQ, which is line? So now here let us a gear system. Okay, you see this gear system, one bigger gear and this smaller gear. Now here consider a point is lying on this one, this peak here. Suppose that is A, and we consider another point which coincides with this point A, but which lies on this smaller gear. Suppose that is B. Now this velocity of this point A, VA, is equal to this distance is suppose RA, this radius, this point is located over here at the edge, so this distance is RA. So VA is equal to RA into omega 1. VA is equal to RA into omega 1, and the direction of this velocity will be in the perpendicular direction, in this direction, 90 degree. So the magnitude will be RA into omega 1. Omega 1 is the angle of rotation of this body. This is omega 1. Now this point B, now the velocity of this point B will be, this A and B are coincident. Okay, now so the velocity at this point, at these 2 points will be equal at this point, at this instant. So VA will be VB. Now what is VB? VB is omega 2. Omega 2 is the angular velocity of this body, of this smaller gear. So omega 2 into RB, this is the radius of the smaller gear, that is RB. So omega 2 into RB. Now at this particular instant the VA will be equal to VB. VA will be equal to VB. Now so VA is equal to VB. So VA is RA into omega 1 and VB is equal to RB into omega 2. So from that we get, so omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to RB by omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to RB by RA. So you can write over here that omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to RB by RA, or we can write that dB by dA. Now omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to N1 by N2. This is the angular velocity. Okay, so what we get over here, omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to RB by RA. So this is the formula. Now suppose consider this another body, piece body, which is fixed. Okay, suppose this is the space. So this body is 1, this is 2, and this bigger body it is 3. Now suppose this point is the ecenter of body, ecenter of the bodies 1 and 3. Now this third body 3 is fixed, so the ecenter of body 1 and 3 is located over here. Similarly the ecenter of the body 2 and this body 3 is located over here. Suppose this is I23. This is body I center I23. Now, so the relative velocity of this body with respect to this body 3, bigger body. So this is the I center. So the relative velocity of body 1 with respect to this body 3 at the I center, this I13, will be 0. Okay, so this is the fixed body and this body is moving. Okay, so at the I center the relative velocity will be 0, but if we consider any other point on this body, suppose over here we consider a point. So at this point it is moving with omega 1, so it will have a velocity, it will have a fixed velocity. Okay, if this is the point, suppose the distance is r, so omega 1 into r. So all other points on this body will have a fixed velocity, but not at the I center. Same is also true for this body 2. Okay, the relative velocity of this body 2 with respect to this body 3 at the I center, which is located here, I23, will be 0, but all the other points on this body will have some fixed velocity, because this body 3 is fixed. But if this body 3, if it was not fixed and it was moving, suppose it was also moving, so then at that, then the relative velocity of this body with respect to this point moving body 3 would be 0, would not be 0, would not be 0 at this point. Okay, if this body 3 is also moving, but the relative velocity at their I center would always be 0. So there will be no relative velocity between 1 and 3 at their own I center. Okay, so this is all for today. In the next lecture we will discuss about the Kennedy's theorem and the number of I centers.